It's a bright Monday. A bright Monday.
Actually,
and it's extra bright.
There's nothing bright. We'll talk to. There's nothing bright.
My team won. No. Hands up if your team got 3 points this weekend.
Got a point.
Who's doing?
I got a point at the end.
I don't talk to people who do 1 point. I beg. We only do 3 points.
3
points, clean sheet.
3 points. You know, this is be only 3 points like November, so enjoy.
Well, we didn't get another 3 points this midweek. Don't worry.
Enjoy.
Now we're back.
Enjoy.
Barras, scary.
Enjoy.
Murciélagos. Lost Murciélagos. Lost Che. Some people don't have the luxury of celebrating 3 points, but I mean, the Lord helped them. But it was interesting to see Arsenal this weekend really take it to Manchester City and almost leave with a win. That's what we expect to see. We expect to see you try to win the game, and you guys did very well. I have to commend you for defending. Do you feel like the gap with City has now fully closed?
There's no gap.
There's no gap anymore.
I promise you, there's no gap. They've not beaten us in the last four games in the league. The numbers are there. The stats are there. We've reduced Haaland to 2 shots on target in the last 4 games.
And they go.
And they go, yes, fine, and they go. But yesterday showed that, I mean, it's one thing to be beaten objectively, and you know that this side, they are just better than us. But if you go back to last season, when the PGMOL, they sent a message to us now saying, oh, we should have sent Kovacic off, but Michael Oliver said he did not want to ruin the game. But he did the exact same thing to us. Yesterday. That red card, now we're already missing our most creative player with Odegaard not playing, and then we had to take off Saka, meaning we're playing without our 2 most creative players against City. Credit to Arteta because he has done his homework. He knows when to change, when to be pragmatic, when to play beautiful football. He knew that game was not suitable for Ben White. Put in Calafuri, put in Timber, physical monsters, to neutralize Doku and Savinho. I think it was job done for us, and the Premier League is a corrupt institution. I don't care if you say we are playing victim, this one. I'll continue to say it. The Premier League is a corrupt institution. If we end up losing the league by 1 point or 2 points, then you come back at this game and say what could have been. But I'll just stop there. So,
but do you think that at this point there's any team that you cannot go up against in the world?
You can go up against any team, any 10 team in the world. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, any team. Last season we lost to Bayern Munich by a goal. By a goal in the aggregate and stuff. We can go head to head now with any team. I'm confident in our defense that we can take on
I know one team that you cannot take on, Sha.
It starts on V.
I know what you cannot take on.
Okay.
Ruben Barra should catch you at Mestaya. Oh my God.
Don't do that. At least you hold 4. More
but let's talk about football in general now, because we've talked about Arsenal, how there was a gap obviously at some point, and now it does. No even anymore. The mental block that existed, that meant now if you're going to Manchester City, you have to look and say, we want to win this match, not if we get a draw and we're celebrating. You're disappointed if you get a draw.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but in a broader sense now, in football in general, this season we've seen a lot of close games. Obviously, we've seen the 9-2s by Bayern and the 6-1s and stuff. But do you feel like the gap is closing in general between the top teams and the rest? Because, for instance, we've seen Juventus draw 3 straight games, 0-0. Obviously, 2 of those games were against Roma and Napoli, but still,
no excuse.
Inter all dominant last season. Everybody's like, Inter are one of the best teams in the world. They are clever, but they've gone to play Milan. Milan that are not even looking good. And they lost to Milan. They drew earlier in the season. We're seeing Leipzig also, who have scattered our best.
They spoiled my sleeps over the weekend.
Yeah, and they've done 2 draws now against teams that you'd expect them to beat. And it just
United as well with Palace.
With Palace as well. It just looks like even Manchester City, when they played Brentford, it was close.
It was
Tottenham playing Brentford too, it was a bit close as well until the late goal and everything. Do you think that the gap, what is going on? Are we finally seeing football return to normal? Because remember 2010s, Messi and Ronaldo era, there was an obvious gap.
Man.
PSG won the league by 31 points.
Yeah.
Barcelona, Real Madrid, after them, Valencia were 25 points behind. Bayern every season winning, Juventus destroying everybody in Italy. In England also, we started to see Manchester City pull away.
One thing I can tell you for free is that at the moment, I can tell you that the only difference between a City and a side like, let's say, Nottingham Forest, I can assure you is money. That's the only.
It has always been money. Now.
That's the only difference right now. In terms of quality, football is starting to heal. It's getting back to normal. And one thing you should also look at that is players are getting tired, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, you know that. Okay,
so that
now you know that now Arsenal played on. Okay, let's take a look at, even though City are cheats, but let me use them as an example. They are cheats, yes. They played on Sunday.
How is it Manchester City?
They are cheats, man. They played on Sunday. City played on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Now they are playing on Tuesday again. If you are a City player and you know you played on Sunday and you know in your mind that
they're
you're going
on
to
Tuesday, not even Wednesday.
Not Wednesday. Arsenal are the ones playing on Wednesday. So if you are a City,
but what would you have said if it was Arsenal playing Sunday and
I'm
Tuesday?
still saying the same thing, that it is unfair on them. I'm still saying the same thing. So if you are a City player,
but you're not saying that the league is against Manchester City, though.
I'm still saying
for doing that.
I'm saying everything. I'm objective. I'm very objective.
I'm saying that if it was Arsenal playing Sunday and Tuesday, you'd have said the corrupt this are against us.
No, they are not telling them to play rival sides in the space of 2 days. It's Carabao Cup. It's Carabao Cup. They'll win it. They'll win it.
It's still a game.
But my point is, if you are a player playing on a Sunday and you know you are going to play on Tuesday again, when you are playing on Sunday, you'll be like, make I no stress myself. Let me just put minimal effort. Let me not kill myself. So I will conserve energy for Tuesday.
Next. So if you are a goal ahead,
you just calm down and just keep the lead, and you will not stress yourself. I don't want to get injured. Another thing that people are not looking at that is killing football is this useless stats. I will not call stats useless, but the interpretation of stats is affecting players. Now, a player is afraid to say he was dispossessed 7 times, so because of that, he will not be adventurous. He's not throwing dangerous passes.
The funny thing is that the stats that they use is not even dispossessed. The start is possession lost.
Yes, and
which is completely different.
It's different because if you make a cross and it doesn't
connect,
and crosses lost possession.
The advantage of defense. Imagine crossing against Saliba and Gabriel. Obviously, no matter how good you are in
beating an aerial threat,
beat you more likely.
So like I feel like the start, tiredness, everything is playing together as a factor. So when you look at the new Champions League,
players don't want to take risk.
They don't want to take risk anymore. Make I know. Look at Rodri now. He just came back. He's injured again. I can tell you when he comes back, he will not be putting his body into tackles anymore.
And Roger was talking about this last week and they insulted him.
They insulted him and he's out injured again. And now Guardiola has said he's unsure about Rodri's injury. So it's one thing is clear that if this now in the next 2 weeks, I think they will go for another needless international break. Some players will travel from England to South America and journey back down. I remember, was it Tottenham players or some players complaining that the clubs did not help them with private jets to come back from the internationals. So all these kind of things are just playing out. And you look at Bundesliga, for instance, still Leverkusen that won the league. Was the 94th minute winner from Boniface.
Well, that's their brand anyway. But
considering 3 goals, football is getting much closer. And from us here, from a betting perspective,
makes it harder.
It makes it tricky. It just ruins what we know that straight win and there. It's no longer straightforward.
Because you would have gone. I mean, we went Liverpool straight to win against Nottingham, didn't work. Newcastle to score.
Newcastle. Fulham beat them 3-1.
Yeah,
comprehensive beating.
We were so sure
they will win either half.
At least
they didn't even win any. So it's quite difficult. We've already seen about 15 plus 0-0 draws already this season in top 5 leagues. 15 plus. We are not up to game week 6.
Maybe we should just start going for draws.
I'll actually try it. I'll actually start to go for draws. Look at Southampton Ipswich. I carry that game live game. Someone will win. 90 plus 5.
Yeah,
it happened.
But just to conclude anyway, do you think this is a good or bad thing for football, or is it a mixed bag? Because on the one hand we're talking about fatigue and all of that. On the other hand,
no, if you want to weigh it holistically, I think it's good. It's good for the sport. You can't just have someone beating everybody every time. Then it doesn't become competitive.
It's not good for our betting.
No, we have to adjust. That's why we call ourselves betting expert. We need to adjust to the trends and adapt to what is going on. If we are going to be using handicaps, we will be using margins of wins. We just need to find something. There's always a trend to take advantage of. But for the sport, it's actually good that we are seeing spectacles every week, like shocking upsets, stuff like that. It's good to
for
watch.
the neutrals.
For the neutrals, it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, for my team, typically we'll be title contenders. but because of the way the game has like kind of gotten harder, we're somewhere down there, but at least we're off the bottom of the table. Glory be to the Lord. Anyway, that's all we have for you today on this episode. Thank you for joining us. Let us know in the comments what you think. Is this good for football? What is happening right now? Is football starting to heal? And what does it mean for the future? And also the debate about whether players should not complain about the schedule and all of that because of what they are earning, or whether they have a right to complain.
And also from a betting perspective, does this make betting easier, or does it make it harder to predict? All of these topics are something that we'll be discussing here on Betting Expert Nigeria. But for myself and Cerebroné, it's actually looking like betting has been slightly more difficult in the past 3 weeks, but trust us that we'll definitely adapt and give you something to look forward to every week.
I got a 10 over 10 this weekend, but I'm not going to mention that in this video. On to the next. Thank you very much for joining. Take care. Ciao.
Man, you're 10 over 10.
I got 10 over 10.
Which 10 over 10? For this
My
weekend?
sleep, yes.
Which sleep?
The one I put now.
I know, Siam.